after the death of my son and spending a couple of years grieving and really letting myself go. Part of that journey is including self-improvement in the form of nutrition, exercise, fat cavitation, and eliminating fat and skin tightening. So I have a couple different ways that I'm approaching this, and some of those are device related. Personally, I think there's never just one solution. I find fat cavitation in this particular unit to be really helpful for a couple different reasons. So first of all, the unit that I'm going to show you today has not only ultrasonic cavitation, which is proven to destroy fat cells. It basically liquefies them and then they are absorbed through your lymphatic system and released. Now, it isn't a magic bullet and it doesn't help obesity, but it will treat pockets of fat, especially when you do it consistently over time. This device also has radio frequency. It has several different heads on it, so you can treat the body and large areas of the skin, and also treat the face if you want to do skin tightening throughout the jawline or other areas of the face. Radio frequency and ultrasonic cavitation both have studies that show reliable results. Now, not every device is created equal, and I have used cavitation in the past that were cheap devices that just didn't work. The technology wasn't there, and the tools that this device offers gives a complete package so that you can treat tightening of the skin, fat cavitation, and fat loss. And there's also suction on this device. So I would say if you're looking for a cavitation device, check this one out that I'm going to show you today. I'm going to walk you through my step-by-step process, and I'm also going to show you my measurements. So just a quick disclaimer, you guys, I didn't start doing the cavitation until I was already down about 30 pounds since my weight loss surgery. I didn't want to show you misguided measurements based on the rapid weight loss I had in the first few weeks after my surgery. Now my weight loss is down to about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds a week since I started using the cavitation machine. But I want to be always 100% transparent. I am eating a high protein, low fat diet. I'm exercising, working out, lifting weights, and using the cavitation device. You'll see in the videos I'm about to show you that my belly area is in really bad shape after having 4 babies, lots of stretch marks, loose skin, and I'm working really hard using the cavitation machine and the radio frequency that comes with it to tighten things up enough that I don't feel like I'm going to need to have a tummy tuck. I'm not completely ruling it out, but I would like to avoid that. Now, that's a personal decision. There's no judgment, and it may be that someday I decide to go for a tummy tuck. I don't know how much more weight I'm going to lose and what the condition of my tummy is going to look like. I do have some fat pockets underneath my bra line in the front that you're going to see me treating, as well as my underarms here, just to tighten, firm, and reduce some of that unwanted fat there. I am filling my arms in with a little bit of volume from weightlifting now, and so I'm hoping that helps to shape, define, and make my arms look a little bit nicer. I do think that this cavitation is helping. Now, before we get into the videos and I explain some of what's going on here, this is my 6th treatment, so I'm doing them twice a week, so I'm on my 3rd week. So I start every treatment with the radio frequency. So on my clean skin, I add some of the hot cream. The hot cream is meant with the radio frequency heads. There's multiple heads here. You can see some smaller ones, and then there's also the larger ones that are great for getting at large areas like the tummy. I also didn't show on this video, but I'm starting to use it on the back of my legs and my butt and thighs to help improve cellulite. I've seen some really promising information that shows success using radio frequency on cellulite. I just also ordered a fascia blaster, so between the radio frequency cavitation and the fascia blaster, as well as some dry scrubbing, I'm hoping to improve the cellulite. So let me show you the settings I use with the radio frequency head on the cavitation machine. I like to set this for like 15 minutes. You can do as much as 20 or go down to 10 or 5 if you're in a hurry, but I think like 10 to 15 minutes is a sweet spot. Keep in mind that you're going to be using other heads, so if you do 15 minutes on the radio frequency, 15 minutes on the ultrasound, and 15 minutes on suction, you're already into 45 minutes. So adjust your times according to how much time you have. It's better to do a shorter treatment than no treatment at all. Of course, you select which head you're going to be using, your time, and then the intensity. I like to max this up now. When I first started in those first few weeks, I kind of tested the waters by doing just a mid-range, like level 5 intensity. You do feel some heat coming from both the hot cream and the radio frequency, so keep that in mind. If you go all the way up to 9, you're going to feel more heat and warmth than if you were at a lower temperature or a lower strength. I like to run the device both horizontally and vertically. You can how you do this. Now note, this video is sped up a little bit. I like to go very slow. You really want that radio frequency, not just to graze quickly over the skin, but to really go slowly over that tissue. I find it helpful to lift up my breast to get that fat pocket underneath my band, my bra band there. And of course, I like to do down my sides. I'm starting to see a little more hourglass shape, and I'm enjoying that. So I want to make sure to treat the sides as well. So after starting the treatment with that radio frequency, we then move on to the ultrasound cavitation. The ultrasound and the cavitation is what busts up those adipose cells or fat cells, liquefying them, allowing them to be distributed through the lymphatic system, and basically you're going to pee them out. For the ultrasound, I also like to set that for about 10 to 15 minutes, selecting the ultrasound paddle on the device screen, and then going all the way up to the max strength. Again, I started at about mid-strength, so certainly don't start at the max strength until you've tested out the device. Similar to the radio frequency head, I like to move this very slowly. This video is sped up a little bit, and you may hear a high pitch frequency as this device is working, especially at the higher setting. The high pitch is a little bit annoying, but it's also a good indication that it's working. With this, you use the other cream, which says facial gel, I believe, and this is more like an ultrasound gel, like the ultrasound gels that we're used to when you have ultrasound when you're pregnant. This one doesn't emit any heat. It's nice and slippery. It gives the ultrasound head a nice surface to glide on. If you do a longer session, you may need to add more gel just to keep things sliding around. Again, move the head very slowly. You can move it both horizontally, vertically, in circles, and kind of free form. I like to get all of my problem areas just like I did with the radio frequency, including my sides, to help contour that hourglass figure. Now, there are many cavitation devices out there that are cheaply made that don't have the right technology and really don't produce much for results. I'm finding this one actually does work. I say that reluctantly because I have a long way to go, as you can see in this video. I'm certainly not a Victoria's Secret model. I'm a 52-year-old grandma, mother of 4, and my body has been beat up. I gained over 50 pounds when my son passed away, and I'm now in the process of losing that, so I certainly don't expect to have a body that is perfect. But if I can reduce some fat, tone things up, and tighten some loose skin, it will maybe prevent me from having to have surgery or feeling the need to have surgery from loose skin. So I'm trying to do what I can, including microneedling, to keep things firm, build natural collagen, reduce areas of fat, and tighten the skin. The areas I see the most damage from pregnancy and weight gain, of course, on my tummy. I've got those fat pockets that are there, seems like whether I'm thin or not, underneath my breasts, so I'm targeting those and targeting my underarms. Of course, you can target your legs, your thighs, your knees, anywhere that needs a little fat reduction, including underneath your chin, sculpting the jawline. The possibilities are endless. I would avoid cavitation on the cheeks because, as a general rule, we want to keep face volume and cheek volume to lift the lower face. I am liking what I'm seeing, and I am seeing that tape measure start to get a little smaller. Now, again, of course, to be fully transparent, I didn't start the cavitation until the bulk of my weight was lost. I was over 30 pounds down. Now I'm still losing weight, 1 to 2 pounds a week the last month. And so this is where I started doing the cavitation to assist me. So I feel like if you are taking care of your body, eating high protein, getting a little bit of exercise, and using cavitation, it's just a nice assist to reduce some fat pockets, tighten up the skin, and for me, hopefully not need surgery. But that's going to depend on how much weight I lose and what everything looks like. I'm going to continue doing cavitation treatments a couple of times a week, and I'll keep you guys posted on my results. So far, I'm a couple inches off my waist from when I first started cavitation, and I'm thrilled about that. I am walking a lot. I have recently started lifting weights and doing planks, and I think if you can do planks, that really helps the core. So anything you can do to tighten your core muscles or abdominal muscles just makes this treatment work even better. You're targeting the fat, you're targeting the skin, and you're targeting the underlying muscles. Of course, increasing the protein in your diet is so key to not only weight loss, feeling good and feeling healthy, but building muscle and preserving lean muscle mass. You guys, this device actually isn't super expensive considering what you're getting. And I do have a discount code, and I will list that down in the description box below. questions about my experience with this cavitation device, don't hesitate to comment. I'd love to hear from you guys, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. Thank you for joining me on this self-improvement, weight loss, and finding myself again after a tragedy in my life. So many of you have been an absolute lifesaver over the last couple of years since Drew passed. Taking my life back has been a journey, and I can't say it's always easy. Even now that I seem happier to you guys in videos, and I am happier, I am finding my way back. It's still a long and difficult road. So I don't want to downplay it for any of you that are struggling with loss, depression, or anything in life. Life is tough. I take it day by day, and I'm doing the best to put a smile on my face, and I look for myself and for my family. Taking my health back and taking my life back is a work in progress. And if you're struggling, I'm struggling right along with you, sending you love and support. Thank you so much for sharing a piece of your day with me.